Hi guys, welcome back to Everyday with me, Nick. I'm Nick, and this one is a dedicated video to the Norwood with Intelliset. I've just been on to Facebook, I've just finished up for the day, put everything back. Had a bit of a day of milling and, making things. And I went on the page Norwood Sawmill Owners. A post was put on by Thomas Durangery or something like that. I'm sorry if I get your name wrong there, Thomas, but I've just seen it. He says, hello, are you satisfied with the intelligent system, i.e. Intelliset? I personally just had it installed and I'm extremely disappointed. I don't understand anything. Even with the manual, the division is random while settings are made. We click on 22mm and one shot it goes down from 80, a shot of 36, a shot of 55. In short, it's unmanageable. I think I know what's going on there, but we'll go over that. Besides, I find the system itself not intuitive and ergonomic at all. I'm forced to use the saw in manual mode because Intellicut does everything. If it's to be manual, I might as well iron a manual lead with crank. I'm not sure what that, I think the translation on that was bad. I'm 2 fingers away from taking it all apart and going back. Okay, so Thomas, I have the Intelliset as exactly the same as yours, apart from I don't have hydraulics. I haven't got that kind of money just yet. But, and I'm not just talking to Thomas here, I'm talking to everybody, so everyone will be familiar with the tablet that we all have here. I'm going to put my phone down now. So, without a log on, I'm going to show you guys some of the functions that I've experienced and I've had some playing about with, but there's two modes that I only ever use. So, first of all, imagine there's a log on the mill, the clamps are up, the dogs are up, the dogs are on, whatever. It's a round log and it's there. We need to take first slabbing cut off. Now that's always done in manual mode. Alright, so on the tablet at the top there it'll say manual mode. That's always done in manual. So what you do is you see the saw head raising, going down, so you'll always position the saw head to where you want to take that first slabbing cut. Alright, so get that done. So that what you do, you're happy, you turn on your idle switch, so you turn that on, that engages the actuator, which turns the throttle on, which turns on your auto lube system. For demonstration purposes, I'm not going to be flicking that on and off because my water is going to keep peeing out there. Alright, so as rule of thumb, before I go into the cut, I'll idle up, put the speed on the potentiometer down to nothing, and then I'll make sure I'm happy with what it's going to do. Then once I'm doing that, I'll then put the potentiometer about somewhere in that region. Can you see that? And then I'll start with the cut. Alright, so I'll start slow. Once the cut's got in, then I'll figure out if I can go any more, I can go any less. So you'll hear that, you'll use your ears for everything on that one. You'll wait to see what the motor's telling you. If it's bogging down too much, ease off on the potentiometer, just slow it down, and then you'll be alright. So once you've got to the end of your cut, so that's through, that's the end of your cut. You can either take your slab off the top there and then, or you can raise it above. But before you do that, if you're not happy with, say you've done the slabbing cut and you want to take a few more off, alright, so to get it down to a gauge that you're happy with, I'm not sure, it could be anything, but I use some Perspex cheat sheets, or cheat boards shall we call them, and basically what I do with these is, if whatever size the log is, I've got a few of these, I'll draw this on just so I know what I'm working with size wise, so I know what I'm going to get out of it, or what I can get out of it. Once that's done, and like you say, you've took your slabbing cut off and you go, right, I could get a couple more, I don't know, 25mm pieces out of that. This is where the modes come into play now. So you've gone to the end of the cut, you've turned off your throttle idle, So that's turned off. Your auto lube will turn off and you're at the end of the cut. You want to be going into this mode now. This is called down cut mode. It's the first mode on the left hand side, and once you press that it'll say down cut mode. So you've already got a size of what the encoder's reading from the bunk to the blade. Now that's a completely separate video if needed. Shout me up if you need anything to do with that. But on the bottom row here, on all these arrows, you've got different measurements. So these are completely customizable to you. These obviously they'll come preset, factory set with whatever, but you can make them to whatever you want. Alright, so I've got 6mm, never used it, I don't know, it must have been preset. I've got 20, 18, 25, and then if we keep going across there's just odd, but 30, 38, 47, 50, 57, 65, 70, 75, 83, 89, 100 and 156, and that's the end of it. That's all you get out of it. So I want to take and to be able to change these settings, you can customize these. What you do is you basically hold down on the arrow pointing at the measurement, and you use your plus and your minus. Can you see? I'll see if I can get that on camera. I know I'm trying to get the sun out. So just down there it was 6, okay? So now I'm going to press the plus button and that's going to keep going up until I get to wherever. If you keep hold of it, it'll obviously go down in a quicker mode. So once that's done, you want to press the green tick, and that's it. But that's not stored. What you need to do is you need to press back onto that button. If you don't press on it, it'll go onto your last used measurement and it'll go to that one. So I'm going to use 25mm, one of my presets. So what I do now is it's gone to the end of the cut. I'm going to use this plus button. What this plus button does is once you've removed that slab, it's going to take itself, for me, 25mm above. Now again, that's all changeable in the settings, but for this video I'm just going to show you the modes and how to use them. So once I've pressed that, hold on, go back. So once we've gone through 25mm, press the plus. The saw head is now raised up 25mm. Alright, so once that saw head's up, you'll be able to bring it all the way back to start before clear of the log at this end. Once you've got it at this end, bearing in mind our last measurement was 419. It's took 25mm above that. So all we do now, while still in down cut mode, is just press down on the joystick, right? So if I press down, watch the saw head in the background. That has now gone down 25mm plus, including the kerf. All right, so in this instance, it's 2.5 millimeters. So that has now gone down 25mm, including kerf, from the last known cut. And then now it's ready. Okay, so what I mean now it's ready, by the way, the lowering of the saw head does not have any effect with using the potentiometer. It could be 0 or it could be full on rabbit. It'll still go down and sort itself out. So now we've got ourselves set again. Get the potentiometer ready, idle on, and off we go with the next cut. All right, so all the way we go. Demonstration purposes, imagine that's at the end of the cut, and we think, oh, we can do another 25mm cut there, we can get another board out of that before we have to flip it. So now it's gone, press the plus button again and watch the saw head going up. Right, you ready? Plus button. That saw head is now going to clear the cut we've just done and 25mm above the original start. So now you can leave that board on if it's still on. Easy peasy. So sorry about the wind, guys, it's really picked up out there. So again, we're going to idle off, bring the saw head back to start, and that's that. Happy days, right? So now we want to flip the log. Alright, so go out of down cut mode, go back into manual mode. turn your log 90 degrees, 180 degrees, whichever you decide. Sorry, I've got sawdust in my eye. Joys of working in a wood yard. So in my case, I normally flip them 90 degrees. So flip it 90, get it all dogged back up again, back into manual mode. The reason we're back into manual mode is because, again, we're going to take a slabbing cut. All right, so pretty much for all the turns, we'll use manual, but I'll get to that. So we've got back to the, so we've turned it 90 degrees, we're back onto a slabbing cut. Same thing again. We can go all the way down, take our first slabbing cut off. Yeah, so it's gone right through, slabbing cut done, and then either you get that perfectly the first time, you take all the way in the edge out, or we just do what we just did last time with the 25mm. So we'll go back into down cut, press 25 just in case it's got anything else on the selection, press plus, that'll go above the cut, assuming that you've removed the slab on top, bring it back. Okay, now we're ready. Press down again and you'll see that saw head go down 25mm. So now we do that cut, get it perfect, get it square 90 degrees using a framing square, and that's the two sides done then. So we've got two sides done now. So we bring it back, idle down, put the tablet down, use your hydraulics, don't use your hydraulics, use a cant hook, don't use a cant hook. Turn it round. Now it's sat flat. It's got two flat surfaces, and one of them flat surfaces will be across the bunks. Once it's across the bunks, we're back into manual mode again. So we go back into manual. We take off that slabbing cut right the way across. All right. So we'll just pretend we're slabbing off all the way along, whether it be 4 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot, 20 foot. I don't know how long your mill is. Once it's done that, and then you think, right, I'm going to use now, because you've got 3 square sides, you've got bottom, back and top, happy days. Now we can use another mode. Alright, so we've got 406mm from the bunk to the blade. So I'm thinking now, right, I want to be milling 50mm thick pieces of, slabs. And what I'll do with them slabs is, once they're all cut, I'll stand them up on end and I'll take them to 100. So I'm making 4x2, 100 by 50 in old money. Alright, so we can use a different mode, which is this third option from the left. So that was down cut. This one is standard IntelliCut mode. Now what this does, it's quite clever. What it does is, it knows where it's at. So it's 406mm from the bunk to the blade, and it knows now, including the kerf, 50mm cuts. So I've just found my 50mm preset. I've clicked it, and it's going to know now, it's going to work out all by itself how much waste to take off the first cut, and then everything thereafter will be 50mm right down to the bunk. All right, so the last cut will be 50mm. Really, really clever, in my opinion, if you want them standard cuts coming out, which of course you do, why wouldn't you? So we'll bring this back. So we bring it back so we can show the saw head doing its thing. So we've brought it back before this side of the log, and we're going to start taking them 50mm cuts off. So like I say, we were in manual mode. Now we're going to go into the third function across, which is standard IntelliCut mode. We're going to use our arrow to find a preset that we want, 50mm. If it's not in there, hold down on that preset arrow till it allows you to change it. Use your plus and minus. Press the green tick and then make sure you press it again. So press 50mm. Now I'm going to press down and watch what happens with the saw head. That saw head now has gone down its first cut. Now that might have been a bad example because I think that's worked out pretty much bang on there, because it's found out that with all the curves, it was probably pretty good. So what it can do, so you go right to the end, press, so we'll show you demonstration purposes, go right to the end of the cut, press plus, that'll take it all the way above the cut, bring it back, press down again, saw head's going to go down to the next cut, go right the way across, press plus, that's going to take it, I think my battery's going to start taking a hit without the engine running, bring it all the way back, down, that's going to take it to the next cut. Alright, so and we just keep going and going and going and going and going. So for demonstration again, I'm just going to keep pressing down. I'm just going to hover it over a bunker or almost. I'm just going to press down every time. So that's another 50 mil, another 50 mil, another 50 mil. Yeah, I couldn't have got that any better. So now that last cut there should be 50 mil from the bunk. Now I can test it. I've got a tape measure in my pocket. As long as your curve and your calibration is done, you will be fine. And that is bang on 50 mil. That is how good you can get set up. You can have that running perfect. That's using the intelligent mode, the standard IntelliCut mode. Now, if I was above, so I started at 406, but if I was maybe 420, what it would have done is taken it down just ever so slightly and taken off at a waist cut. All right, and that waist cut, you'd have just binned it, or you could have used it, depends on the size of it comes out. So it knows how much to take off before it starts doing equal cuts thereafter. So that's the standard IntelliCut mode. They're the two that I use mostly. So you've got all them slabs cut there, you stand them all back up, you go back into manual mode, you go back up, right, take it right back all the way above, we got it 406, all right, so I'm just going to alright, I'll just go 408. Now there's two modes that we can use here. We can use down cut or we can use standard IntelliCut mode. If you can get it right, then use down cut mode. But if you don't know how much to take off to get everything right, then use the standard IntelliCut mode. So we'll use that middle, that third one across, and we're going to start cutting 100 mil pieces now. Alright, so I've selected the 100 mil. Again, if it's not in your preset, you make sure you customize your presets. So 408, we've took a slabbing cut, we've took all the crap off the top, so now everything's like we've got 4 square sides almost, but we've got these huge cants, these huge slabs left sort of thing, and we want them cutting at 100 mil. What it's going to do now in the standard IntelliCut mode with 100 mil selected, it's going to start taking off waste. Alright, so this cut now is literally gone down there to 1 mil. Alright, I'll show you that again. So now we're at 436, okay? So it knows that we're going to go back. So we're at 436, we've just done that in manual mode. We're going to go into standard IntelliCut mode. We're going to scroll across till we find our 100, and then we're going to just press down. What that's doing there is it's just took off it just enough to calculate that every cut after that now is going to be 100 mil, or in inches, whatever 4 inch if you guys have got it set to inches. So you take that off, and that'll be kind of waste, or again, if it comes in handy somewhere, then so be it. So now we're just going to go through, take that waste cut off, come back, press down, takes it to that 100 mil plus the kerf all the way through, press the plus, raises it above all the cuts, bring it back, press down, go all the way through, press the plus, lifts it up over the cuts, bring it back, press down again, and now that has left us now with that final cut. Fantastic. Really good modes. Now there's two more that I'm only going to tell you one more, because really I don't really have a use for the other one as such. The other mode to cut in is this one, and this is called upcut mode. Now it's a bit of an odd one, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway. So say you don't know how many you can get out of a log. Okay, you've got a cant already done, you've got it on the mill, and you don't know how many you can get out using your brain, because I don't do math very well. So I can use the remote. So we've got the cant on, we've got it 100 mil off the bunk. All right, so we go, right, well, how many, let's have a look. How many 75 mil pieces can I get? So we're going to make 100 by 75, which is 4 by 3. And we're going to think, oh, I don't know, I can't do the math. It's 75 plus 2.5, so that's 77.5. But how many times how many, you just don't know, right? So what you can do is, in upcut mode, you get it at a level at the bottom, and you can... It's the wrong way to do it, in my opinion, because you should never use upcut mode. But what I do is I do it to identify what I can do. So, say I've got a log on, okay? I've got a log on. I'm trying to decide how I can do this, but I can't really do it. You've got a log on, and you've took it to the bottom. Now, you can turn it on, take that first, you could just run it into the log a little bit so it's got maybe a full blade thickness into the log. Then bring it back so it's scored it and you know what's what, right? What you can do there is then take it out of the cut, you can then press up. And what that's going to do, that's going to calculate, including kerf, 77.5 up from there, and in this case it's done 178 because it's not to a decimal number, which it'd be nice if it was. So same thing again, what I'd do there is idle on, take it into the log a little bit, so idle on, take it into the log, just score it enough that the blade goes inside the log, and then take it out. Take it out, press up, take it to the next one. But you don't want to be cutting all the way through, because then what you'd end up doing is taking all that wood off the top and leaving the stuff that you need to take off in the mill at the bottom. It's a bit of an odd one, but it can be used. Now, whether you use it or not, I think I use it maybe 1 out of every 20 operations. It really doesn't get used that much. So that was just an insight. If you want to know more about that, if you want to know more about anything that I'm showing you with a log on, then I'll do that next time. But this one, I need to just get out there now. So that's all the modes. Basically use downcut and standard IntelliCut mode. That's basically all the ones I use, basically. Now there's another mode over here which is go-to mode, and this you can set these to anything you like, and if you press one of them, the saw head will go to that measurement, in this case 330 mil, using the encoder. I do sometimes use that, I don't always. If I know the size of the log before it's cut, say it's 300 mil, and I take it to 330, I know I'm above it, sort of thing, and we can look at after that. So I hope them modes, the explanation of the modes, have been kind of covered for you there, Thomas, and anybody else. I'm sure other people have probably had some problems with it, because the manual is poor, but that's pretty much the modes. And your downcut and standard IntelliCut mode, that's all you need. If you go into settings, you'll see your calibration, your blade, your units, whether it's be fractions, decimals, or millimeters. Obviously, I'm in millimeters. You've got blade kerf, which is completely customizable to whatever blade you're using. You also have minimum height clearance. So that, like I said, it's 25 mil, so that from that last cut, it'll raise up 25 mil and come back. And again, that's all customizable using the plus and minus. The calibration, I'll do another video on that if you so need it, but it's detrimental that you do the calibration. If you have the calibration wrong, or you don't have it at all, then your cuts will be all over the place. So I hope that's helped folk who are struggling with the Intelliset setworks. When I was talking with Josh Ince at the APF show last year, we were talking about the remote, the tablet, and how I think there's room for improvement. They are maybe working on something. I hope they are, because it sounded good if they do go for it. But you know what, guys? This does work. It does work, but there's so much more that can be offered to the operations of this. So if you're not sure about anything in this video, I know it's dragged on a little bit, please get in touch with me and I'll do something broke down, I'll do something slower, I'll just focus on something. I know I need to have a log on the mill so you guys know what you're seeing. I'll do that next time. I've got lots of logs to cut. But I'll show you, and the next time I'll do it's probably, I've got some 75mm stock to cut for some fence posts, so I'll show you then. Yeah, hope this has helped you guys. Any questions, let me know, comments below, or I'm going to post this onto the Facebook page. I hope you will get what you need to know out of this. So take it easy, guys. Thomas, I hope this has helped you. If not, message me and we'll go into more detail about it. Take it easy, guys. See you next time.